in the world they say that the soul is immune to the effect of action. Yes, so whatever action is performed, they say that the soul is absolutely immune to the effect of that action. Now the thing is, and Baba says this is why they say that even if you eat egg or meat or fish, how does it matter? Because that the body is eating and the soul is immune to the effect of action. And I was just thinking, there's this very beautiful saying, what you believe determines how you behave. And sometimes, when we come to Baba, then Baba teaches us some very profound truths, like I, the soul, create sanskars through my karma, and the sanskars are created by the soul and they are part of the soul. The soul carries those sanskars, and the soul has the man and buddhi, and that the soul doesn't take the birth of an animal. So, human soul takes a human birth and all such things, or like Baba is the one I have all relationships with. And sometimes, we fail to understand why Baba is emphasizing on these truths. And sometimes you feel, it's enough to know that you have to be peaceful and loveful and joyful. But we don't understand that the seed of belief systems gives rise to the tree of, whatever values or virtues you uphold. So, if the seed is not right, then there will be some anomaly, something which will go wrong in the way you behave. That's why Baba clarifies these truths to us. And I will tell you, there was this, this thing that the soul doesn't incur the effect of action. It comes from an interpretation of the Gita. And of course, when a scripture is written, it might have had other other people would have maybe interpreted it differently, but these days, there is this interpretation which is very far and wide, that God tells Arjuna that all your relatives are already dead, so because they are souls, so they don't die, and anyways, a soul is like eternal. So if you kill your relatives, then it doesn't amount to sin. So there is this interpretation which is done that if you kill a body, then it doesn't amount to any sin, because the soul is eternal. And this is a very dangerous interpretation, because if you interpret it like that, then everybody who is a soul, because everybody is a soul anyway, so you kill anybody and it doesn't amount to any sin, because the soul is eternal. But so Baba also teaches us that you are a soul, but the important thing to understand is that I am a soul, I am in the body right now, and I, the soul, am the master of this body, and I have to take ownership of whatever I do through this body, and I create karma through this body. So Baba tells us that you are a master of this body, and whatever you do through this body is your karma. And I, the soul, um, I, the soul, am not the body, but I, the soul, am the one doing everything through the body. And when we take the course, there's this very beautiful example that is given, that when uh, when the car is when the car is damaged, then the driver gets hurt. So everything is about the driver. So the car is just a dead piece of metal, but the driver is the one who is driving the car, who is regulating which way the car moves, and the driver is the one who has to pay for the damages if the car does something also. So if a car just goes and runs into somebody, so can the driver say, no, the car hurt the person, I didn't hurt the person? Can you say that? So so the car hit you, so the car will pay for the damages, I will not pay, because the car hit you, I didn't hit you. And it's a very interesting thing, to think about, if the driver started giving this argument. So the driver has to take ownership of everything that the car does and everything that happens to the car. So Baba says that you are a soul and you are like a driver to this car called the body, and you do everything through the body. So you have to take ownership of whatever you do through the body, and it is designed, so it is the spiritual design that when you do anything through the body, then you create a sanskar which stays with you, and that sanskar determines your sansar. So whatever you do through the body creates a sanskar, and that sanskar is kind of is like a seed which determines your external reality. So that sanskar is responsible for your sansar. So Baba says that it is very important to understand that I am a soul, but it's not like I am not the body, so I don't take ownership of whatever the body does. Because I remember, there was this one brother, and he said that I scolded the child a lot today, but then I sat and I thought that, let's say his name is Sanjeev. So I said that Sanjeev scolded the child, I didn't scold the child. So I am a soul, and so this role scolded the child. So I was okay and I could detach from that role. So I said, no, but did Sanjeev do the right thing or the wrong thing? So he said, no, he was a little harsh, but that's how Sanjeev is. I'm not like that. I'm a soul. So, you are trying to cheat yourself in so many ways. And I said, no, you have to take responsibility of whatever you do through the body. So sometimes, you use these methods and play with your mind in such a way that your mind is, your mind starts deceiving you. So Baba says, don't do that. And Baba says that whatever you see through the eyes, whatever you hear through the ears, or eat through the mouth, or speak through the mouth, or whatever you do through the body, every action is being done by you. And that is why it will create a sanskar which will live with you, and you will carry that sanskar forward. And Baba says that when you don't understand this, and this is why, it's very important that we become soul conscious, because when I'm soul conscious, I do better karma through the body and create better sanskars through the body. So Baba says the soul must detach from the body, become soul conscious, and remember Baba, purify itself, so that when you do actions through the body, in that state of purity, those actions are good actions. But it doesn't mean that you use the knowledge of the soul in a wrong way, and then you twist everything and you say that, I'm a soul, so, and I'm immune to the effect of action, so whatever the body does, and I don't get affected by it. So even if the body kills and eats meat or fish or whatever, so I'm not doing that, so it's okay. You cannot say that. And I think, uh, there is this very early on also I used to think about it, that there is so much of corruption in the world. And why is there so much corruption in the world? Because of this thing that people think that, the soul is immune to the effect of action. So even if you tell people to not be corrupt, they think that, if you're corrupt, you are earning money in this world, and then when you leave the body, you are free. So you're not carrying anything in your next birth. So why not be corrupt? Because you see, people are benefiting from corruption immediately. So they say that who knows, in the long run we are all dead. So, and the soul anyways doesn't carry anything. So why not be corrupt today? But Baba says the thing that you don't understand is, you do anything under the influence of vices and you perform that action through the body, you carry that sanskar with you. And that sanskar is responsible for attracting your reality. So your reality will be in consonance with your karma. So whatever karma you do today through the body, that will determine your reality tomorrow. But when you don't understand the spiritual knowledge in the right perspective, then all of these, anomalies occur. And this is something that Baba points out today. And then Baba talks about a different kind of birth and death today. And Baba talks about, there is a system of death that is there in the conference age. But first we have to understand that when we enter the confluence age, it is a new birth. So, when you take birth, so birth and death are very closely connected. So, can you be reborn without dying? So you cannot, you cannot be born without dying, right? So first there has to be death, and then there has to be birth. And Baba says that when you become a Brahmin, it's a new birth. And in Bhakti, they say Dvij, which is the second birth. So Brahmins are called Dvij, which is, this is their second birth. But if you look at the world, then there is nothing like there. It is not like it's a second birth. It's, they are born Brahmins. So they have that ceremony, and then they say, okay, this is the second birth, and this is now that you're born as a Brahmin. But that is just a ceremony, and sometimes people have that ceremony and then they don't change anything about themselves. They just wear the whatever they have to wear, but sometimes they don't even follow the rules. But Baba today says that when you become a Brahmin, this is your new birth, and you die from the old world and die from your old relationships and come into this relationship with the Brahmin family. And the first question is, have you had this, have you thought about it deeply, and have you held it in your awareness that this is my new birth as a Brahmin? And there's this system in the BK family that we celebrate our alokik birthdays. So the day when you took the course, that day is celebrated as your alokik birthday, which means this is your new birth. And you don't celebrate the birth of the body, you celebrate this birth when you became a Brahmin. And all of these things are done to shift the consciousness that now you are in this new birth where Brahma Baba is your mother, Shiv Baba is your father, and the Brahmin family is your family, and the Lokik family or the old world you have died from. And although they are there and you have a relationship of love and respect with every soul in the world, but you have all your relationships here, and all your emotions and your heart is connected here. So this sense of, I died alive, because you see, the body is still the same, we are in the old body. So this dying alive is a very important, or the foundation of becoming a Brahmin. So have you died alive? And have you come to Baba with that kind of awareness? Because if you are reborn, then there is the question that you don't die again. But if you are half reborn, or so if you are not completely into this awareness that now I have left the old world and I am a Brahmin now, if you're not in that awareness, then I don't think, when Baba says today that some children die from this life and again go back to the old world, but if you have never left the old world, how does that make sense? So the question is, have you died alive? Have you embraced this new life? And when you have embraced this new life wholeheartedly, then the question is, take care not to die and go back to the old world again. Yes, so Baba says so Baba today talks about those Brahmin children who completely died from the old world. So they totally belonged to Baba, and Baba counted them in the rosary, so of 808, and Baba said, I thought they would be number 4 or number 5, and then those children, they died and went back to the old world. And Baba is talking about such children, but I don't know if you have that dharana. So if you have that dharana, you have to check for yourself whether you think that you have died alive and come to this world. Because sometimes you have, when the lines are not clear and you have not left the old world anyway, then going back to the old world doesn't mean anything, because there is no death, so there is no birth, so there is no question of dying again, right? But how many of you think that yes, we have died alive and we belong here now? And if I went back to the old world, that would be like dying again. So how many of you are in that consciousness? So I'm asking you. So if you're not in that consciousness, then the Murli doesn't make sense to you, because you have to understand that this Brahmin birth is a new birth, and if you've not understood that until now, you have to start thinking about it. Otherwise, we are half caste Brahmins and not full. And then, how do you get the full inheritance if you're not a full Brahmin anyway, right? So, this is something. And then, Baba says that how does somebody who has died alive and come to this new life, how do they go back? They die again and go back to the old world. So there's this one simple thing, which is, if you don't follow Srimad, then Maya will eat you up. And that is the thing. So, and if you're not even died alive, then you are like very vulnerable to Maya, because you are attached to the old world, so Maya will keep playing its games. Now, I will tell you one thing. So today there is this song, that I have come to your doorstep, I have taken an oath, and I'm not going back. So this दर पे आए हैं कसम लेके, दिल हथेली पर है सुन ले, अब हम नहीं जाएंगे. So there's this very beautiful song which is like a promise. And when I came to Baba, there was a time when you make these choices, that how do you divide your time and energy and money between Lokik and Alokik. So of course everybody's circumstances are different, but there was a day, I remember that day very clearly, and on that day I decided that my everything is for Baba, and I have got nothing to do with anyone, and I will just support everyone like I support as a sevadari. Otherwise, everything that I have is just for Baba. And I told Baba that, you see, Baba, I have maybe, there are younger brothers and sisters, and they expect something from me, and maybe the world, according to the world, I have to do something for them. So I said, let me have a contract with you. You take care of all of that, and I will just belong to you. And that contract worked very well. So Baba took care of even the Karambandhan, and I devoted my life to Baba. But because there was this very strong thing that I have left that world, that's why there were so many challenges that came on this path. So there is so let me tell you that when you come to Baba, it's Maya doesn't allow you to have a very good, Maya doesn't lay the red carpet for you, go walk and read Satyug. So it's not like that. And the more you are doing Purshat, Maya really tests you, and there are test papers which you could never think of, and never in your imagination you thought that this test paper would also come. But all of those things happened. But there was this only one thing which kept me stable, which is, now that I have nowhere to go, I have left everything, so anyways I have to survive. So when you have nowhere to go, when you have closed all your doors and options, then what do? You survive. So, and Baba gives you everything you need to survive and go ahead, and you just know that your only option is to remember Baba and do the needful and tolerate and face, and you don't have any other option because you've closed your doors, right? So you survive every challenge because you've closed your door. And I think if you've not died alive, and if you've not completely surrendered, whenever Maya tests you, you will always feel like, let me run away, let me, I'm not able to tolerate this much, so let me, go backwards or not do so much. So you will start having these thoughts because you've not died alive. And sometimes, I don't know, I don't say this often in class, but you have to have a self embraced majboori to become mazboot. So it's not like you are helpless anyway, but you have to have this self embraced, I don't have anywhere to go. So it's not like you don't have anywhere to go, you can run away, but you have embraced it that I don't have anywhere to go. And it's like a promise that you've made to yourself that I have come here, I belong here, and I will leave from here with Baba and not go anywhere. And if you have done that for yourself, then however much Maya will test you, you will survive those tests. And you will live to be, to until the end of Sangam Yog, you will be with Baba. And Baba says that this is very important. Otherwise, what happens is, if you have not died fully, then you don't live fully, and then you die somewhere in the middle. So then you go back to the old world. And when there is a hard time somewhere, you always feel that, the grass is greener on the other side. So this is a human psychology that, when you have a test in some place, you feel that, the other place is better, which is not true, but somehow, psychologically you start feeling that maybe the other place is a better option. But Baba says that if you keep your options open, you can never win over Maya. And you have to understand that this is my only option. I have to be, so at 7 a.m. I have to be present for Murli, 4 a.m. I have to be there at Amrit Vela, I have to do Seva. So if you have not left that option, then you win over Maya and you survive. And it has to be a choice. So birth and death, people say that birth and death are pretty fixed. You don't have a choice about it. But it is only this birth and this death that we have a choice about. So this is a birth you choose, and this is a death which you can choose to avoid. So you choose whether you want to die because of Maya or not. And if you and you have to be very skillful if you want to avoid death by Maya. So you have to use all of Baba's Shrimat and be so prepared and skilled that you survive Maya's attacks and not die because of them. So this is something that Baba is saying today. And when you belong completely to Baba, only then can you follow complete Shrimat. If you're half born, half caste, half Shrimat, then Maya will keep attacking you and throwing you up and down. Yes, so this is the thing. So if you want to have full inheritance, this is the method. Again, it's a choice. Anybody can create whatever fortune they want, but this is the method. And then Baba says, don't sleep peacefully until golden age is established. Do you sleep peacefully? So if you sleep peacefully, who will establish golden age? So you shouldn't have. So there is this in Hindi, there is this very beautiful description of the qualities of a vidyarthi, of a student, and they say kag cheshta, which is you should persevere like a crow. Yes, Bagul Dhyanam. You should have the attention of a crane. And Swang Nidra. You should sleep like a dog. And Alpahari. Eat less. And Grihatyagi, which is you should not have the Grihasthi consciousness. You should not have this I and mine. And we are godly students, and these 5 qualities apply to us. And anyways, Baba today says that everything begins in Sangam Yug. So yes, this begins in Sangam Yug, and it is at this time when you are a godly student that you are expected to be a total Griha Tyagi. Yes, so Baba says don't. So it's very interesting. You see, children anyways don't have household responsibilities. Do they have? No, they don't have any household responsibilities. They are anyways carefree. So why are students asked to be Grihatyagi? So it is godly students who are asked to be Grihatyagi, which is, leave the householder consciousness. So, I am a householder, I am responsible, carrying that weight of ego all the time. This is mine, I have to do this, I have to take care. So Baba says, just do everything as an instrument. Just do everything as a manager, not like an owner. So that's the sign of a godly student. And then today Baba says, sleep like a dog. Have you seen dogs sleeping? These days dogs also don't sleep like dogs. They just so I remember there was this one dog who was sleeping, and I had to go for a walk, and I tried opening the door, and he was just sleeping outside it, and he didn't get up at all, and then I had to give up walking that day. So these days dogs have also become tamo pradhan, and they are also not sleeping like dogs. They are also sleeping very peacefully, but generally when you talk about dog sleep, it is very very fragile, very fragile sleep. So they wake up at every little sound wakes them up. And Baba says that you must sleep in awareness. So you must sleep in awareness. When a Brahmin sleeps also, you it's not like your clothes are going somewhere and you're just lost in your sleep, and that's not how Brahmins sleep. Brahmins sleep very consciously. And Baba says that that you're giving rest to the body, and sleep with that attitude. And don't think about just losing all senses and sleeping, because you have to do a lot. And I will tell you one thing personally, that I don't know if I should say this also, but I receive a lot of touchings during sleep. So, and I will tell you, I have had experiences where I conduct a whole class during sleep. So it's in the dreams that I'm having this class, and I get really good points from that. And I share it in the class also. So there have been times when I have had a revelation in dreams. So Baba says that if you sleep that peacefully, then how will I touch you? And I think Baba have you do you remember when you were in school, then sometimes you're solving a maths problem, and then you sleep and you solve it in your dreams, or you get an answer in your dreams, or suddenly you're in half sleep and then the method strikes you, and then you get up and just solve it. So I've had this experience in my school days also. And if you sleep like that, then you get a lot of solutions in your dreams. So I told you, I don't know if I should be sharing this, but this is my personal experience, so I thought let me share it anyway. So Baba says that even when you sleep, you should be fully aware of your Brahmin life and all, and you must know that I am guiding you even in your sleep, and you must be in my remembrance even when you sleep. And Baba says that don't sleep peacefully until this, this world changes into heaven. So even your sleep have to be used for seva. And I remember there was this incident when somebody woke up Dadi Janki from sleep one day, and then Dadi said, "Why did you wake up? I was giving toli." So, why did you wake me up? I was giving toli. So, you can create so much of good karma in sleep also if you are sleeping consciously. So, that doesn't mean don't give rest to the body. Give rest to the body, but stay in the consciousness that I am a responsible Brahmin, and Baba is, working through me even when I'm giving rest to the body. So you're a Karam Yogi even when your body is resting. You're a Karam Yogi when your body is doing something. You're a Karam Yogi even when your body is resting. And Baba can do so much even when your body is resting through you. If you are all day, you are in that Brahmin consciousness that I am a Brahmin, an instrument of Baba. Okay, so Om Shanti.